Let's quickly step aside from the Canucks, but we're going to stick in the West because Jake Oettinger finally signs after, honestly, like, no news, and then all of a sudden finally signs with the Stars. 3 years, $4 million AAV. I know he's your fantasy goalie. Thoughts?
I love Jake Oettinger. I pronounce his name wrong every time. It's Jake Oettinger, right?
Oettinger.
Jake Oettinger. Jake Oettinger, however I say your name, steal of the century. Steal of the century. Oh, my God, such a great goalie. What I thought is that because there was no news, Jake Oettinger's camp and the Dallas Stars were in a deadlock. And I thought that he had a number in mind that was absurdly high. And then he signs a 4x3. A 4x3. Jake Oettinger had a 9.14 and a 2.53 on a team last year with no defensive depth. No defensive depth. And he's, 23 years old?
He's young.
23 years old. Not that many goalies are that good out of the gate, right? And even more so, not many of them are that good in the playoffs. Like, the Dallas Stars clearly gave him a lot of money because of what he did in that Calgary series.
That was his, like, he was great in the regular season, but that was his, like, coming out party.
You know, that the whole playoffs, they played the first round against, the first round was against Calgary. He had a 1.819.54 in that series.
Yeah.
Do you remember there were games where he had like 50 shots on net? Half of them were like medium to high danger. And there were times where you would see like Gaudreau and Tkachuk looking to the sky and smiling because he would make a game-saving save 4 times in a period.
He was unbelievable.
At 23 years old, and that was his first taste of the playoffs. Imagine what this guy does 2-3 years into his contract.
This is gonna be a great contract. I think for both sides, this is a win, right? Because Dallas, he played great, but like that's a half a season and a playoff round of experience or sample size, which I think is enough. But Dallas now gets 3 years to see, okay, are you the real deal before we give you the bag? And if he's good, then great, you get to make some cup runs with your old core, the very favorable deal in net, and also good for them because he's still an RFA at the end of this deal, which was they still have control over him.
Yeah, he didn't buy into free agency years, right?
Yeah, which is, I mean, like, you can only do so much as an RFA, which is fine. But I think honestly, if he keeps this up, the cap's gonna be going up at in 3 years' time. If he's good, he's gonna get paid. So I think honestly, it's a win-win. They get to compete, and then he's gonna make his money regardless. So if he's an RFA, UFA at that point, I think he's gonna get paid if he's anything close to what he showed.
Yeah, so you talked about the RFA status, and this is something I wanted to talk about as well. I understand he's an RFA, but how did he only get $4 million? Like, how did no teams offer sheet this? I know sheets.
They never do. Offer sheets are just...
I understand that they don't happen, but they've recently happened more and more. We saw the Aho one. We saw the one with Cossidente. That one actually hit. That was probably a bit of retaliation. But the argument is that offer sheets are starting to happen. And if there's a player that you're going to offer sheet in this market right now, it's a very hot young goalie. I don't understand. Like, if the Dallas Stars got offer sheeted at $6 million, you don't think they would have signed that on the dot?
They would have had to.
They would have had to.
I just don't think teams like doing it, because I don't think they want to get into a situation where like teams are being like retaliatory with like their offer sheets. They don't want to. I think it's a very much like an old boys club in the NHL where guys don't want to like screw each other over, even though all the other leagues like NFL, NBA, they don't operate like that. Like, they'll do what they have to do to make their team better, which is a GM's job. But the NHL, for better or for worse, is very much not like that.
I understand, but at the end of the day, I mean, I guess what you're saying is true. If there's an incentive that, like later on in the future, it might come to bite you. You might not do it now. Yeah. But in a market like right now, in this free agency market where goalies were very, very scarce, and the ones that signed got paid. Jack Campbell, there's an argument there that he got overpaid. I really like Jack Campbell. It was a marginal overpay. Darcy Kemper, I think, was an overpay as well. Georgiev got a lot of money. Teams were looking for goalies, and there was a young goalie that you could have kept in RFA status. I would rather have Jake Oettinger at 5.5 than Jack Campbell at 5.5.
Yeah.
What blows my mind is not a single team offer sheeted this, and I wonder if a lot of teams didn't expect him to only sign for 4. But I think this is one of the best goalie contracts in the league.
If he is like even remotely close to what he was, it will be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I would have loved to see. Can you imagine Jake Oettinger on the Toronto Maple Leafs at $4 million by 3 years?
We can dream. We can dream. We have our own RFAs to deal with at this point, Sandy, and we haven't heard a single thing about him. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And find the link to our full podcast and all our socials in the description down below.
Also, don't forget to turn on those notifications to get live updates on new videos that we release.